Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Icy Dude. This is a person we got off of Discord here. And so, yeah, looking at his team, it looks to be very powerful, very intimidating, very well balanced. Looking at my team, it is the same one we've been using the past few games here. Just trying to get these guys that I like to do something here, these new Generation 9 Pokemon. So, what do I want to lead with is the question. And I think... This could go one of a couple of different ways. He definitely has a lot of solid lead options here. So... I think we're actually going to go with the Flamigo in this one again. Seems probably like the best idea overall. And we'll see how that works out. All right. So, there he is. And he's going to go ahead and lead with the Amoonguss, which is actually pretty good for us with the Flamigo lead. So, we could definitely just go ahead and go for a Brave Bird straight away to try and take this thing out. He likely won't stay in, though. So... I'm thinking he probably doesn't stay in here, so we're just going to go ahead and go for a choice Scarf U-turn on this thing, as he actually does stay in, so that's interesting. So we U-turn on this thing, get a little bit of chip damage, and of course the pivot. So what do we want to bring in here is the question. I think the best option is going to be the Revavroom, actually, because we do have the Overcoat, so we're going to be immune to the Spore if he goes for that, which he likely will go for. So there it is, and indeed he does go for the Spore, so Overcoat, that is not going to affect us, so that is pretty incredible for us, as he does get some HP back with the Black Sludge. So I don't really think this thing can do much to us, to be honest, so I know this has cost us in the past trying to set up with this among other Pokemon, but I think we just go for a Shift Gear here, so that's what we're going to do, is he does indeed go for the switch, and he's going to go ahead and come in with the Great Tusk, so that's not great for us. He's going to have the Booster Energy, Photosynthesis combo, and his attack is going to be increased. So we do go for the Shift Gear here, so we get that +1 attack and +2 speed. So we're in a little bit of an interesting situation here because we are set up. We know this thing's a ground type. Its defense is pretty high. So the question becomes, do we want to Terrastallize? Because we know we can't take a ground attack from this thing. So the question is, do we want to Terrastallize into a ground type so we can take a ground attack from this thing early and then just try to start hitting this thing hard? I don't know. You know what? I think we're going to do it. I think Revavroom's time is now. We haven't really got to do anything with Revavroom since we've been using it. So I think Revavroom's time is now, and we're going to go ahead and Terrastallize and hit this thing with a +1 Iron Head and see what we can do here. So there we go. So going to Terrastallize the Revavroom into a pure ground type to go ahead and remove the weaknesses. And we know we're going to outspeed this thing as we hit him with that +1 Iron Head. Not quite going to do half, unfortunately, but we do get the flinch, which is actually amazing. So that worked out really well for us. This turn, I think we just go straight for another Iron Head. No reason not to, as we get the second Iron Head. It is not quite enough to take him out. He goes for a Headlong Rush in return, and that is not quite enough to take us out, fortunately, as he does lose some defense and special defense there. And then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So I think I don't know if he's going to really want to switch to save this thing. I kind of doubt he will at this point. And he doesn't have the best of switches, so I think we just go for the Iron Head again. There's really no reason not to. So that's what we're going to do, as we'll see what he wants to do. He is just going to stay in and let the Great Tusk go down, which is great for us. We get a critical hit that time. Obviously, that did not matter. But we are going to get rid of the Great Tusk there and knock him down to 5, which is nice, and we are going to get a little more HP back from the leftovers. So we'll see what he wants to bring in here in response. And it is going to be the low kicks here. So more than likely, this thing is going to try and take us out with a priority move. So that puts us in an interesting situation. I think the best thing we can do here, we could anticipate either the Sucker Punch or the First Impressions. If he goes First Impressions, which he likely will do, obviously we can't survive that. So if he goes Sucker Punch, we could actually, if we shift gear, we can avoid that. But I don't know that I guess we do have a decent switch in to take a Sucker Punch in the Flamigo. But I think First Impressions is probably coming more than likely here. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to try and preserve the, Revavroom here, and we're going to go ahead and switch into the Flamigo as we do actually resist both of this thing's stab moves, and we'll see how that plays out. So there it is, and he is going to go First Impressions, and that is going to do a lot of damage to us, actually, with a critical hit, so that's why. So that's going to take us down by about half, and then he does take some Life Orb recoil damage there. So that did hit pretty hard, unfortunately. I don't think he stays in on this matchup. I mean, he could, but I kind of don't feel like he does. He could try to Sucker Punch us, but I don't think he does. But either way, I think we're just going to go for the U-turn here to try and preserve the Flamigo. He does, in fact, go for the switch, which is nice, and he is going to go ahead and come in with the Glamora, unfortunately. So we're going to U-turn on this thing and do some chip damage, and that is going to trigger the Toxic Spikes, which sucks. Via the Toxic Debris, of course. So that does suck for one primary reason, and that is because we actually don't have our Poison type anymore because we terastallized the Revavroom. So now we're kind of just stuck with the Poison Spikes, unfortunately. The question is, what do we want to bring in on this thing to get poisoned? I think we probably just go into the Revavroom again here, since it's kind of on its last legs anyway. So we're just going to come in with the Revavroom once again, and we are going to get poisoned, ironically, off of the Toxic Spikes, and then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers, and then we're just going to lose the damage to the poison. So we are going to be put back down to 37 HP in the red off of that. I think we're actually just going to go ahead and we could make the obvious play and just bulldoze. If he stays in, that will take him out. Or, you know what, I think an Iron Head might probably take him out anyway. So I think we're just going to make the safe play and go Iron Head. It's got less switches here. See what he wants to do. He actually outspeeds us, which is interesting. So I was not expecting that, but I guess we don't have our stat increases. So he Mortal Spins, which is not going to take us out, actually, which lets us go for an Iron Head, which will take out the Glamora, knocking him down to 4. The only bad thing about that is we do trigger the Toxic Debris for the second layer of Toxic Spikes to go up. And now we're kind of stuck with double Toxic Spikes on the battlefield right now. So a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. We do get some HP back with the leftovers and then lose some more damage to the poison. So now he's going to come in with the low kicks once again. And I don't think there's any point in switching right now, since we are poisoned and we only have 19 HP left. So I don't think, since this is a normal poison, it doesn't stack, but the normal poison damage is actually a little higher than the first turn of badly poisoned, so I don't think we're going to survive another turn of normal poison with this thing. So on the off chance he doesn't attack us, we're just going to Iron Head here, but of course he is just going to First Impressions, and we definitely can't take that. So that's going to be it for the Revavroom, knocking us down to 5, but that's kind of okay. Revavroom kind of did its thing there, and it worked out, as the low kicks is going to take some Life Orb recoil damage there. So I think the best possible switch into this thing now is definitely going to be the Chen Pao. He can't use the first impressions because it is not the first turn anymore, and we do resist the Sucker Punch, as we do get badly poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, and then of course we have the Sword of Ruin coming into play to lower the defenses here, so, well, the physical defense I should say. So he definitely has solid switches, unfortunately, into the fighting attack, so I kind of don't want to go for that. We are choice banned, so I think the safest thing we can do here is actually just go for the Ice Spinner, because we have to lock into something, so we're just going to go Ice Spinner. And if he stays in, it should do a lot of damage. It might take this thing out. I think it might, since Low Kicks doesn't have the greatest defenses. And indeed, he is going to switch out to preserve that powerful priority, and he's going to go ahead and switch in with the Cerulean Edge, so we could have anticipated that but didn't want to make the risk, so we go Ice Spinner, and a choice banned Ice Spinner with a critical hit is nearly going to take this thing out, but it does trip this thing's weak armor to lower its defense and raise its speed. So we are going to take some poison damage here as well, and so given that fact, I'm actually not confident that we can outspeed this thing. He doesn't know we're choice banned, so that's kind of a plus in our favor, but I really don't want to risk, because we know we're choice banned, I really don't want to risk that this thing is just going to go ahead and take us out here with like a fire attack or something. So I think the best possible course of action is actually just to switch into the to the Tatsugiri. So that's what we're going to do, because we don't want to lose Chen Pao or risk it right now. So going to come in with the Tatsugiri, and we go through the ground because this is Sword and Shield. We get badly poisoned by the Toxic Spikes, and he is going to go Bitter Blade, which is going to do practically nothing to us since we do resist that X4, which is great, and he is going to get some HP back from that. Not too much though, which is good. And then we are going to regain some HP here with the leftovers, and then of course take the poison damage. So I think at this point there's no reason, I mean, I guess there is a reason, but he does have a switch into a water attack. But I think we can probably just, we don't really want to risk missing the Draco, so I think we just go for the Surf here. Got to play it safe, as he isn't going to want to stay in, unfortunately, and he's probably just going to make the obvious switch. Yep, just going to make the obvious switch into the Mungus. So that is a little unfortunate. We could have caught this thing with a Draco, but it is what it is. We're going to get the Surf damage off, which is going to do a little bit of chip, which is not bad, as we do get some HP back from the leftovers. He is also going to get some HP back from the Black Sludge, and then we are going to take some poison damage. So the only good thing about this situation is he actually can't spore us because we're poisoned. So that's pretty good. I don't know what exactly this thing could do to us, to be honest. So we could actually take this opportunity to nasty plot. I kind of want to do that, actually, so I think, I don't think a Draco can take him out from this range. I'm not 100% confident, so we're just going to nasty plot here, actually. So we do outspeed, we're going to go nasty plot, and we are going to get that sharp special attack increase, which is great. He's going to go for a Giga Drain, which is not going to do too much damage to us, as we are max HP, and Tatsugiri has decent defenses. He's going to get some HP back from that, which is not great, but not the end of the world, as we got some HP back from the leftovers, and then of course another turn of his Black Sludge recovery and toxic damage on us. So of course toxic damage is racking up here. We're definitely going to go on the offense this turn with the Draco Meteor, no reason not to. He stays in, go for the Draco. Thankfully we don't miss, and it is going to be enough at +2 to just go ahead and one-shot that Amoonguss outright, which is incredible. That is going to knock him down to 3, as we do get the harsh special attack drop, and then gain the HP with the leftovers, lose the HP to the Black Sludge. You know the deal, of course. So we will see what he wants to bring in here in response, but that did work out pretty well for us. So we're going to see what he's going to want to do. He's definitely going to be running low on options here for switches, but we'll see what he wants to do. So he is definitely thinking about this one. So it is going to be the Cerulean Edge. So he's probably banking on taking us out here with a Shadow Sneak or something. So he's got the Cerulean Edge, the low kicks, and the Annihilate left. I think there's no reason for us not to stay in here at this point. So we're just going to stay in and click Surf here and see if we can survive a Shadow Sneak. I think we do outspeed him, actually, if he doesn't go. No, we actually don't outspeed him. As he goes for the close combat, just in case we decide to switch. So that's just going to go ahead and finish off the Tatsugiri, and that's going to drop us down to 4. But that's not too bad for us. We do still have options in the back to deal with this thing. Now the question is, what do we want to bring in on this thing? I think we want to save the Flamigo for the Annihilate for sure. So I think Chen Pao might actually be our best switch here, possibly. Either that or the Sandy Shocks. Yeah, I think the Chen Pao is probably the way to go. So we're gonna go ahead and come in with that. And of course we have the Sword of Ruin coming into play, which is of course nice for us. So I don't see him wanting to stay in here, quite honestly, but at the same time he's probably running out of switch options. So yeah, I don't know what we 100% want to do here. I mean, I guess, did we see an item on this thing? I suppose it could possibly be Choice Scarf, although maybe not. So I think we're just going to go Sucker Punch here because I think he's running out of switches, and DD is going to stay in, so the Sucker Punch going to go ahead and be enough to take the Cerulean Edge out, knocking him down to 2. So he might have actually stayed in because he might have been Choice Scarf there. So definitely glad we went for the Sucker Punch. So we are going to take some poison damage there as well, and now he's going to go ahead and come back in with the low kicks. So this thing is definitely a problem for the Chen Pao. We can definitely not stay in on this first turn because of the first impressions. What do we want to bring in to face this thing is the question. I think we have to, we don't really have a great switch to this thing right now, so I think we kind of just have to, I think we're going to go ahead and switch in with the Espathra, actually, basically as fodder, because we need to get Chen Pao out of there. And Espathra, I don't think is going to do much for us in this situation based on what he has left. So we're going to come in with the Espathra. We get badly poisoned off the Toxic Spikes. And he's going to go First Impressions, of course, which is going to knock us all the way down to our Focus Sash, which would be a good thing had he not had the Toxic Spikes set up. So he does take some Life Orb recoil there, and then unfortunately we are just going to go right down to the poison. So that is going to be it for the Espathra. That's going to knock us down to 3, I believe. So that's okay, though. We do have an answer for this thing in the form of the Flamigo. So we're going to come in with that. And so based on the fact that his last 2 Pokemon are weak to flying, we have no reason not to just go for a Brave Bird here. We're Choice Scarf, so we know we should outspeed. He actually does stay in and Sucker Punch, and we are barely able to survive that, it looks like, with 9 HP, which is amazing. That's going to allow us to go for the Brave Bird and get rid of that menace, that low kicks, and knock him down to just 1. Unfortunately, the recoil damage from the Brave Bird there is going to finish off the Flamigo and knock us down to just 2 Pokemon. So now we have a little bit of a choice to make because we have the Chen Pao and the Sandy Shocks left, as he does have the Annihilate left. So I think our best play here is to go ahead, and come in with the Chen Pao. We know we outspeed this thing unless he's Scarf, so he's going to come in with the Annihilate as we come in with the Chen Pao. And so we got the Sword of Ruin to lower his defense. He knows we have Sucker Punch. I don't really want to go for the Sucker Punch because of the fact that he knows we have it, so he could try to start setting up on us, which would be really bad. So I think the best course of action is just to crunch here. So that's exactly what we're going to do, and see what he wants to do. We do outspeed, of course, so Choice Band Crunch comes in, and that's going to knock him all the way down to the red. He does survive, unfortunately, goes for a Drain Punch, and that is going to heal him back up a little above half and take our Chen Pao out, unfortunately, knocking us down to just one Pokemon, as he does regain some HP here with the leftovers as well. So now it's all going to come down to this. We are down to the wire here. Our last Pokemon is going to be the Sandy Shocks. So we're going to come in with that. We are going to get poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, which is bad news, but we are going to pop our Booster Energy to go ahead and increase our special attack via the Photosynthesis. So I'm not sure who's going to outspeed who here, but it's all going to come down to this turn. We are max HP investment, so we should be able to live an attack from this thing. We're just going to go ahead and hit him with a Thunderbolt. It's the best move we have, and see what happens. He does outspeed us, and he goes for the Rage Fist. And we do take that very well, actually. It takes us down by about a third. We go for the Thunderbolt. It's not quite enough to take him out, unfortunately. He survives in the red, gets some HP back with the leftovers, and we do take some poison damage, leaving us at about half health. So it's all going to come down to whether or not we can take one more attack from this thing. So all we can really do is click Thunderbolt and hope for the best, so that's what we're going to do. He goes for the second Rage Fist. I think it's going to be stronger than the first. And yes, we can survive with 8 HP in the red. We survive the Rage Fist, go for the next Thunderbolt, and that's going to take out the Annihilate, and that is game. Wow. All right, so we're going to win that one 1-0 against Icy Dude, but that was a great match. Very close, very competitive. Definitely could have gone either way, down to the last turn, down to the last play. And you really cannot get any closer than that. So that is incredible. All right. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.